Hello there carpologists, I'm Dan and today we're taking a look at the Mark II Airflo Bivvy from TFG. Well, I'll start out by saying that I was a little bit sceptical when I first found out that I had an inflatable Bivvy to review. My initial thoughts were that it was going to be a right pain to set up. It was probably going to be larger, heavier, bulkier and just be a general pain. However, that is not the case at all. When it's packed away, before you get it out of the case, it's no bigger, no heavier than a standard Bivvy. You just roll it out on the ground, connect the pump and pump away. It's up in under 2 minutes. So to set it up, take it out the carry bag, roll it out, make sure you've got the pegs and the poles and the pump out the way. First thing to do is peg it in place. So position it, in an angle that suits you, that you can see the rod, see the lake and so on, out the wind. Peg it down in place, do the two ends first, the far left and right, and then I'll do the 4 corners after that. Then it's just a case of locating the pump into the inflation tubes on the end. There's 2 main ribs which you inflate with air. So start with the one closest to the door, the front of the Bivvy. Unscrew the cap, place the pump in, pump that one up till it's solid. You'll notice that the tubes go rock hard when they're completely full of air and you'll struggle to push the pump down anymore. So just pop the cap out, screw the securing cap on top, and that one's done. Move on to the rear rib, inflate that exactly the same as you did the first one. Make sure it's rock solid with air. That will then have lifted the top of the Bivvy up and it will be starting to take shape. Then it's just a case of putting together the pole, which makes the peak. So that's just a few sections, just ship that together, thread it through the material loops, and it pops onto a little plug on either side of the Bivvy there. That creates the peak. And there's also a short tension bar which goes underneath the peak there. It's about 1 foot long and it's adjustable. So just clip that on the Bivvy, clip it onto the peak, pull it nice and tight and clamp it down. And that's it, that's the Bivvy then set up. It's really, really solid. That's one of the main things that I was most surprised on, is just how sturdy it could be. Bearing in mind there are no aluminium poles creating the main Bivvy itself. The only solid bar on the whole thing is just in the front of the peak to give you a nice porch area. Moving on to some of the features of the Bivvy. First thing I'd like to point out is just how big it is. This one here is the standard one man. As you'd have already noticed, it's got a sewn in ground sheet, keeps everything really, really dry, bug free, dirt free inside, so that's ideal. It's really, really spacious inside. My bed chair is not even touching the back of the Bivvy yet, and I'm sat on the floor with my back against my bed chair, and I've got, I'm just under 6 foot tall, I've got really long legs. I'm sat with my back against the bed chair and my legs are barely touching the door. So there's acres of space in here. You could have your bed chair positioned right at the front of the Bivvy with all your kit at the back. So you're sat forward, you can see a lot more water, or if it's a little bit windy, a little bit cold, or there's some rain, you can push your bed chair to the back and have some of your kit at the front. I mean, I could easily get another bed chair at the front of this and use it as a 2-man Bivvy. They do also do a 2-man version, which we'll take a look at in a minute, and that's ideal for those longer trips away. If you're doubling up in big swims on Rainbow or somewhere like that, because you can get both bed chairs lengthways, giving you like a corridor of space down the middle plus extra space on the outsides of the bed chairs for your kit. So that one really is a big Bivvy. It's got 4 rod retaining straps on the front peak there, and it's got 2 extra rod retaining straps on the rear as well. The Mark II model also comes with an updated inflatable rib system compared to the Mark I, and it's also now got 2 Mozzie mesh vent windows on the rear as well, which will help with airflow during the summer. It's also got a really, really large front door. It's really wide, really tall. When you're sat right at the back, you can still see the majority of the lake out in front of you just because you've got such a wide point of view. It's also got a couple of large mosquito mesh windows on the front as well. At the moment they've got the panel down over them, but that lifts up and reveals the Mozzie mesh behind. So this is the 1-man version of the Mark II Airflo Bivvy. Let's take a look at the 2-man. Well, this is the 2-man version. As you can see, it's an absolutely humongous bit of kit. It would swallow 3 bed chairs easily in there. The idea being that you put one on either side and it gives you a massive channel down the middle to keep all your kit and give you a nice easy walkway for access in and out the Bivvy. Up, it's just as easy as the 1-man. The only difference being on the 2-man, there's 3 tubes that you inflate with air rather than 2. Like I said, these are the Mark II Airflo Bivvies, and the updated features are the added Mozzie vents on the rear and the updated version of the inflatable poles in the middle. So if space and comfort is your thing, I'd highly recommend taking a look at the Mark II Airflo Bivvies from TF Gear. The one-man version is available for $299, the two-man is $359.99, and there's an overwrap available for each. The one-man is $99.99 and the two-man overwrap is $119.99. For more information, please do visit the TF Gear website. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.